how previously I mentioned Twitter blew up into shambles? More specifically, Twitter blew up into shambles. This time, I think they exploded like how Caleb did. Now that his new card is officially out, there's a new wave of problems in the EN community. And yes, I did get his card. And I was blessed with what I call the celestial blessings. Or, in my friend's words, the celestial seasonings. So, here I am, yet again, to explain why Caleb, 下一周, is still not MC's brother. Because my god did info troll y'all hard. This is Celestial, and let's get started. I'm gonna hold the best part for later, because this is seriously so hilarious. I'm sure y'all have noticed how there's way more brother and sister lines in this specific memory compared to Caleb's other cards. One thing I like to point out is how the brother and sister lines perfectly align if you were to use Gaga and Meimei instead, because if you replace brother with Caleb and sister with person, it'll sound like a normal Caleb card. But because y'all kept demanding for direct translations, Info fulfilled that request in the most literal sense ever. Don't get me wrong, when I first read the card, I was surprised, but then laughed at every instance of how Caleb and MC would call each other brother and sister. I'm willing to bet that Caleb's VA was dying of laughing at Info's request. Okay, time for the main reason for Twitter's blow-up. I'm sure most people's thoughts were,
see, it's incest. They're related by blood.
After reading the card in English, I immediately went to check the Chinese version both on Xiaohongshu and YouTube. So, I found this. If you compare it to the English version, the translations are there. It's exactly the same word for word. But here's the kicker. The phrase 血脉相连 is technically incorrect in English. If you put in Google Translate, it does say connected by blood. But remember, this is Chinese, and there's a reason why it's the hardest language to learn in the world. Because this has another meaning. 血脉相连 is a 成语, an idiom. It also means an inseparable relationship established by cultural ties. I even looked it up on multiple Chinese sites to find any other meanings. One site even gave an example sentence. The first is in old literature format, but the second one says, 我们从小一起长大，感情血脉相连，比亲兄弟还亲. Which translates to, we've grown up together since we were little. It feels like we're connected by blood, even closer than biological brothers. You know how in English we say things like raining cats and dogs and so hungry you can eat a horse? In Chinese, we also have it, like 人山人海, 五颜六色, and 乱七八糟. That's pretty much what 血脉相连 is, an idiom. On Instagram, there's a channel debunking more things about it too. Some people think this is a horrible and accidental mistake made by Infold. However, I believe that Infold did this intentionally. Reason being is that if you pick the brother option, MC's response is completely normal. You'd think it's the bad option, right? But if you select the lover option, this comes out instead. I truly believe Infold is trolling everyone right now. I think the lover option with that response is for the people who kept asking for direct translations but began backing out last minute. Sounds weird now that it's in English, right? Honestly, for those who want to get into Caleb, just look at him and MC's motifs and you'll get the answer. They're both apples, Caleb being the red apple and MC the green apple. Both apples, yet different species of apples as they come from different trees. But they're still in the same apple group. Hence, the same source. Now, could I be completely in the wrong and that Infold is genuinely making a true incest trope? Of course. But if there's one thing I want to point out, which I've said in a previous video, there are way worse things in game than this. Like, be honest, do any of the love interests here seem normal to you? Even NC herself isn't normal. You can't ask for warnings for a specific character when the other 4 are equally as bad, if not worse. If you played through the main storyline, you should already know what to expect, because normalcy is out of the picture when it comes to the game itself. And a side note, I did find this on Twitter, which is interesting. But I don't speak Japanese, so I won't insert any opinion of mine on this specifically. Another thing people need to be reminded of is that fiction doesn't equate to reality. I'm only here to provide information and my own input on something as someone with an Asian background. I'm open to mistakes. If I made any, please forgive me.